Hello, this is Ari. Today is April 1st, and I have been on testosterone for 6.5 months. I really haven't had time to make videos. I've been working a lot, which is really cool because I need the money to save up for top surgery. But it's also not cool because I don't have time to make videos, and I've been wanting to make videos about stuff like binding and packing and stuff like that. So hopefully, eventually, I will find the time. And also the privacy, because there's always people around my room when I want to make videos and I don't want them hearing what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I want to talk about like what my body is like now and what my body was pre-testosterone, because a lot has changed. And I'm still very, very amazed that it's been half of a year. I think about it, and like this time last year, I was still very much struggling with what my identity was. I knew what I felt inside, but I knew what I felt inside other people thought was wrong or wouldn't really understand. And at the time, I was in a relationship with a man who loved me and my body way, way more than I could ever at that time in my life. And coming out to him was really hard, but I did it, and I had to cut ties and hurt people in order to do this, but I don't regret it. I feel guilt still. I do feel guilty for the people that I had to cut ties with, but I would do it all over again, because this is it's the most right thing I've ever felt in my life. And I guess for something like that, it's okay to hurt people. You know, if you're feeling like you're stuck and you don't want to take something away from your parents or take something away from a partner, it's more important for you to be happy and comfortable than to try and squish down all these feelings just for the sake of other people. You know, I know these people are people who probably loved you for a very, very long time, but others will come by, and you need to find somebody who is going to support you for who you are and not what you think they want you to be. Because I've been in that position a lot. I've been in that position where with my friends, where I've tried to be something that I wasn't for them, and it just really emotionally and physically like took so much energy out of me. And eventually I gave up on that, and I cut ties from all those people, and I've never been happier, honestly. Like, I still get days where, you know, I miss someone, but I love myself. I love myself more than I've ever loved myself ever in the past. And it's amazing. Like, I guess I don't know why it's so strange to want to love yourself. You know, I get it that transitioning it's shock for people around us, but our well-being and our happiness is more important to us. You know, if transitioning is going to make you happy but isn't going to make your family happy, it's not right for them, but it is right for you, and that's what's important. And you might not be able to do it right now in the environment that you're in, but one day you will be able to transition. I promise. It will happen. And even if you're coming out at 15, or if you're coming out at 20 like I did, or you know, so on and so forth, it's not too late. It's never too late, no matter what you think. If you're no longer going through puberty, it's not too late. No matter what you think, you will find people who will support you and love you, and they're out there. And that's, you know, the Tumblr community can be kind of quarrelsome sometimes, but at least there's a community out there who will try to understand or do understand what you're going through and will help you, you know. And so yeah, I just went on a mini rant. It just makes me very upset to see and hear about all the trans individuals who feel very lost and stuck and feel that suicide is the only way out for them. And you know, I don't want anyone to feel like that. I know not a lot of people know who I am, but I am here to help people who want help, you know. So yeah. Anyway, 6 months, 6.5 months on testosterone. It's incredible. I feel great. I've had a little bit of trouble with like cramping and stuff like that. So I was kind of worried that my dose was too high, and I didn't get to see my doctor a few weeks ago because of the snowstorm. But I just got my blood work done. I'm gonna go see her next Tuesday. So hopefully she can tell me what's going on, because I know for some people, if their doses are too high, some of the things that you're supposed to look out for is cramping, bleeding, and mood swings, heat flashes, and a decrease in changes. But I've had the heat flashes, night sweats. I've had a little bit of bleeding, which is scary, and a lot of cramping, but my changes haven't slowed down at all, which is weird. But I'm going to get everything like that checked out, make sure I'm okay. But yeah, anyway, so, I don't know, it changes my voice. Very deep compared to how it was 6 months ago. I heard myself, and it is scary at just how high my voice was. And incredible just how deep it's gotten over the last 6 months. I feel like I have a very, very deep voice. I couldn't really sing pre-T, and now I really, really can't sing now. It's just horrible. I don't even sing around my friends anymore because it's just really, really bad. Especially with high notes, I cannot. Oh, it sounds like a dying cat. But I love it. I love my voice. I love how it, distinctly makes me be perceived as male, and my body even is much more masculine. I mean, 6 months ago, I was a scrawny little dude. I really was. I was working out a fairly little bit a few months before starting testosterone, but I was pretty small. I'm still pretty small. I'm about 5'4", but I've grown up around short men all my life, so I kind of know how to not let it affect me too much. I know a lot of guys out there feel very self-conscious about their height, but I feel like growing up around very short men has helped me realize, it's not just us. It's not like it puts us out on a pedestal. It's not like somebody sees a short guy and automatically thinks they're trans. That's just not how things work. My dad is very self-conscious about his height, but does not hint towards it at all. I just know he is, and seeing that has made me really kind of more accepting of how tall I am or short I am. I'm fun size, okay? I accept it. I can accept that. I don't care. So yeah. But what really makes me happy isn't like I don't need to be taller as long as I just look masculine, and I do. My body has widened so much, like my arms, my shoulders, my neck, everything has gotten wider, and I love it. It's wider in a sense of muscular too, not just like body fat, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it's really nice to just see how much I have changed over the last 6 months. What else? Ooh, I feel like my muscle definition wouldn't be where it is today if I didn't start exercising before I started testosterone. So I'm happy that I started when I did. And I still need to work on my diet. I continue to eat like shit, and it's not good. I'm trying my hardest to cut sugar out of my diet. Candy is my biggest thing, and I crave sweet things. And lately, I feel like my appetite has just been increasing. Like pre-T, I'd eat something, and I was very picky, and I'd get full really quickly. But now, I can eat like one full meal and then come back for helpings, and still be good to eat dessert later on. So I'm trying to find things to quench my cravings that aren't incredibly filled with sugar and fat. So I've been eating dried fruit, mostly mangoes. I love dried mangoes. And pineapple. Dried pineapple's good. And some fresh fruits here and there. Just to kind of, like, get my sugar fix. Because, I don't know, I was raised in a very, like, food-oriented family. If you're hungry, if you come over to my house, you better be hungry because somebody is going to try to feed you. And, so yeah. What else has happened? Body hair wise, really pre-T, the only place that I had a lot of body hair was my legs, my lower legs. I had a little bit of fuzz on my stomach, some hair on my chest, not where I have hair now, just in very awkward places that I will never show people until I get top surgery. But now, my lower legs are still like the hairiest part of my body, but my thighs are definitely catching up. My stomach is just crazy and wild, and now I have this nice little patch of hair growing on the center of my chest. What else? My facial hair is still kind of struggling to catch up. I have mostly they're blonde whiskers. I have a lot of blonde little whiskers down here. If they were just darker, I would definitely look like I had a nice little scruff, but they're not. And I have a lot. Recently, my sideburns have been starting to get a lot more darker as the weeks go on. So I'm hoping within a month or two, I will have some noticeable facial hair. That would be really, really awesome. But you know, for the most part, I'm really happy with the way I look as compared to how I looked a few months ago. So emotionally, I really can't remember emotionally what I was like 6 months ago. It probably wasn't good because I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression because of, you know, my dysphoria and stuff like that. So I could have been the same amount of agitated as I was back then, but I feel like for me it's a lot easier to act on my anger than it is to just kind of let it pass and not let it get to me, I guess. I don't know. And that mostly centers around like things with my family because my parents like to introduce me to people, but they introduce me as their daughter and use my birth name. And I've talked to them and told them that that's not cool, because one day they could introduce me to the wrong person, and seeing as I look like a man and other people perceive me as a man, if they're going to refer to me as with female connotation, that's going to confuse somebody. It's going to raise some eyebrows. You know, it's easier just for me to get angry at them rather than actually talk to them. But I did actually, you know, tell them how I felt about that, and they agreed to let me introduce myself. And my mom even told me that when somebody she works with, because she's starting in a new unit in the hospital she works at, so no one knows her there, and someone asked her if she had kids, and you know, I told her, I'm like, I don't even care if you just say you have 3 sons, because I have 3 brothers, and just leave me out of it. Just don't say you have 3 sons and a daughter. And she surprised me by saying that she told them she had 2, no, oh my God, she has 4 sons, which is including me. And I was incredibly shocked by that because I know my mom is having a really, really hard time with this. And I just feel very, very proud of her. I'm very grateful for her for doing that and putting aside how she feels, because I know I'm trying to understand that it's hard, and I still hear my birth name sometimes and female pronouns, but for the most part a lot of people will refer to me as Ari. Even when I'm not even in the room, I'll hear somebody call me Ari or talk to each other and use my name, which is really cool. Because it's a lot more than I could have expected, and a lot more than I'm sure a lot of other guys get. So I'm trying to understand that I have a good situation right now. I have a good I have a roof over my head. I have a family who's not exactly supportive of what I'm doing, but they're willing to financially support me. And you know, although right now I do need emotional support because I am having a lot of trouble with like my chest dysphoria and stuff like that. I at least have my job to go to. Um, I work at a dog kennel where we board dogs, and I've been working there for about 2.5 years now. And the people I work for are just very open-minded and amazing, and they accept me for who I am. And I kind of see them as an extension of my family. And I love the trust and the support that they provide for me. So, my family might not be ready to emotionally support me right now, but I at least have some place to go where I can find that. And I can't stress that enough for any young person or old person who's just starting out and needs that. Look, it will surprise you who will be supportive of you throughout this transition. It really will, and I promise there's somebody out there who will want to love you and support you the way that you need. And it won't happen overnight, it really won't, but if you try, it will come to you at some point. And even if you can't find help outside at work or in your home, there's still the community online who will support you. And I know it's not the same, but it's something, and it will hopefully get you through it, because it's hard. Transitioning is really, really, it's not I guess it's not easy. It feels very comfortable for me. It feels like this is just what I've supposed to have been all my life. But when you've been socialized a certain way for 20 years, it's still kind of, you're trying to wrap your head around this. And I saw this an example the other day. I was at a Dunkin' Donuts getting something to eat, and the clerk said, "Have a good day, sir." And usually when stuff like that happens, I'm expecting it. So I'm either like, oh god, they're gonna prefer to be as ma'am or sir. But in this instance, I really wasn't paying attention, so it kind of like, I guess, shocked me into like, oh yes, this is who I am. Like he recognizes me as a male, and so it made me realize that the physical transition is very gradual, but there's also the social transition, and that's it. They go hand in hand. And right now, my female socialized mind is still trying to accommodate the male socialization that I'm experiencing now. I like being in a constant, it's weird, but I like being in this constant state of change. I really do. I thrive off of difference, and I hate stagnation. I hate being stagnant and stuck. And so right now, going through all these changes is really exciting for me, and I really like it. I really, it's something new for me, and I like that. So yeah, now I'm just mumbling. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it does or not. And I was thinking back, and there was a lot of things that I was worried about throughout my transition, that I don't worry about now. Like the whole feeling guilty about taking my parents' daughter away from them. I don't feel like that anymore. It's very selfish, but I'm just getting very impatient with the whole them kind of dwelling on the past. But I realized, like, I never was their daughter. Even like in the midst of my socialization, I was more masculine than my brothers. I was always referred to as the son my father always wanted. Now that I am, he's not so cool about it. But I think that comes from us just butting heads a lot. But yeah, so I don't really worry about that, because it hurts to hold on to that stuff, and I just tried to let go of it, and I want my parents to realize that too, because holding on to that is more painful than letting it go. It really is. Like, they just don't understand that, but I can't get in their head, and I can't change their minds, so it's all gradual, and it'll happen eventually. So yeah, I was also worried about what I would look like in 6 months. I didn't expect, you know, I looked at other guys' pictures and how they looked from pre-T to 6 months on testosterone, and I'm like, that'll never happen to me, and here I am today, and it did happen to me. So yeah, it's really awesome, and, you know, if there's anyone out there who's watching this video who's feeling a little, like, wondering what their identity is, and just not feeling like who they are on the outside matches who they are on the inside, you're not alone, and you can do this, and it's worth it. It really is. I know I'm still like in the baby steps of my transition, but it's really exhilarating just feeling the love that I do for my body. And I still have a lot of moments where I'm not as comfortable with my body as I would like to be, but I'm more comfortable than I have ever been in the past. And it's weird to just how many people out there are not able to live who they are because of you know, the environment they are in, and I feel bad for them, because everyone should want to feel comfortable with themselves. And, you know, my heart goes out to those people, you know, constantly. So yeah, I'll keep them in my head. If you are one who's watching this video right now, you can come to me, and I will help as best as I can. I'm not an expert, I'm definitely not, but I'm somebody who has gone through their own struggles, and maybe I can help with someone else's struggles. I don't know if any of this makes sense, or if I sound like an idiot. If I do, I don't care. I always sound like an idiot at some point. This is a really, really long video. Sorry, I really should have made like 2 different installations. Anyway, that's about it. That's all I can think about right now. I hope you enjoyed my video, even though it's almost 30 minutes long. So yeah.